Hey everyone, I'm Brianna. Welcome back to my channel. This is my dog, Santa. She's in my room, so I'm gonna put her right back on the floor. But if you hear little feet walking, that's her. So today's video is a little bit different from what I usually do. Today I'm going to be showing you guys my current reads that I'm kind of like in the middle of and I couldn't really get into them. So I just have millions of books right now. Yeah, so overall, it's just, September's been an okay month for me. I did get a lot of reading done, but most of the reading was before school started for me. So, not as good as I wanted it to be, but hopefully I can get back into the swing of things and start reading a little bit more. I do have some review books. So yeah, let's get right into the video. I'm going to show you some of the books that I'm in the middle of or have read a chapter of and kind of put down. And I don't know, I'm in like a mini slump, but like I don't really know what I want to read because of all these really spooky books I have for October, and I just want it to be October because October's reading month is going to be amazing. So the first book I have is Girls Made of Snow and Glass by Melissa Bashardost. I got this for review and I won it from a giveaway and they want me to review it. This is a feminist Snow White retelling and it's okay so far. I'm on chapter 7 and I'm definitely reading this one out of these current reads right now, but it's okay. It's kind of slow for me and it's just, I feel like she's describing the world too much, but she's not immersing me as well as I should be. So it's like iffy so far. It's page 67, so hopefully it'll get better as time goes on. The next book I have is Under the Lights by Abby Glines. This, for me, is a really quick read because it's a reread, and I read it in May. So I'm thinking of honestly just reading the third book, which is After the Game. I think that's what it's called. Because I haven't read that one, and I kind of just memorized the whole plot of this story, so I don't know if I just want to reread it to familiarize myself with the characters. I don't know what's going on, to be honest, so I may read it, may not. I may just pick up the third book. Depends on how I feel. But this follows a girl named Willa and two guys named Gunnar and Brady, and they live in this small town in Alabama, and they all know each other, and it's a big football town, so Brady and Gunnar are both on the team. Willa comes back to town after leaving when she was like, I think 7 or 8 years old, and they were all childhood friends together, so it's kind of like a new mix of things that's going on. So I don't know if I'm going to read this or just go right to the third book. We'll see how I feel. The next book I have is Incarnate by Jess Stolberg. I was super intrigued by the cover originally and the plot line. The plot takes place in a psychiatric facility, and this psychologist, she ends up taking on a case of a girl who has multiple personality disorder, which is now, I believe, called dissociative disorder, DD. And what happens is it's kind of like crime-based, so I think that's what drew me to it also. But what she ends up figuring out, I think it's small Alaskan town, so they're in Alaska. She figures out that this girl is taking on the personalities of all the people that were murdered in that town. So I found it really interesting, but I got to like the 4th chapter and it just wasn't really drawing me in yet. So I don't know if I'll pick it up again, maybe not, but yeah. So next book I have here is Little Monsters by Cara Thomas. This was the Booksplosion book of the month last month in August, and I really never get into those things, but after they talked about it, I didn't watch their live show, but I watched like Kat's wrap up from Cattastic, and I really liked how she described the plot, so I thought it was really interesting. I believe it's about 2 girls and one of them goes missing, but it's kind of a thriller. But they were saying it's YA. It's supposed to be YA, but it's very like adultish thriller-wise. And I was like, that sounds really cool. And obviously it's fall. And fall I tend to read majority fantasy and like creepy thriller books in October. And I have a ton of those coming your way in October for my TBR. So be prepared for that, guys. But this seemed really good. And at first I was thrown off by the cover. The cover is not really my thing for me, but we'll see if I like it. I think I read the first chapter and I really liked it, but I don't know what's happening in my life, guys. I really don't know. So the next book I started was The Winner's Curse by Marie Rutowski. This was in my September TBR, and I read till chapter 9. And then I was like, not really feeling this. Because this is a trilogy, so I didn't realize it was a trilogy when I first got the book, when it first came out, and I read the first one and I loved it, and I was so gonna continue on, but I didn't realize there was a trilogy, and I think like last year I figured out that, oh, there's a book 2 and 3, and I just never got around to it. So I don't know if I'm gonna reread this because I have a lot of books, guys, on my TBR shelf, so we'll see how my life turns out. But yeah, this follows a girl who, it's kind of like a futuristic society, but like old world. It reminds me of Queen of the Tearling a little bit. So her father wants her to be in the military, and she's not really a huge fan of that. And her dad basically is like, you go into the military or you get married, because women can't really do a lot in this society. They're always being like walked around, and she's kind of like a princess, not really, because she's like the general's daughter, so they treat her very highly. And she ends up buying a slave from the slave market, and he is a singer, but he also what does he do? Oh, he also, I think he's a blacksmith, so he has like all those talents, and he ends up making like horse hoof things. I don't know what they call it, but they put under the hoof to protect them. I don't even know. But ultimately she falls in love with him, so it's like the whole plotline of the story, but you see like how he's planning a rebellion, and he's not as not wimpy, because he doesn't seem wimpy, but I can't think of the word right now, as weak as he seems. So it's all about that, and I loved it when I first read it, but I tried to reread it, and I don't think I'm going to reread it yet. So once my TBR pile gets smaller, I probably will. So the next book I have is Off the Ice by Julie Cross, and the only reason I didn't finish reading this is because I didn't want to bring it to school. Like, I hate bringing covers to school that like I don't want people to see, because they'll judge me, and I just I don't care what people think, but it's just like annoying. So, I just stopped. But I also wasn't in the mood for contemporary when I picked this up. But this follows a girl who leaves for college, and then she comes back to help her father recover after his injury, and her father owns a bar, so she is kind of running the place now. And then this guy is, I believe, is senior now in high school, so she's been away for a while because they knew each other when she was in high school, and I think he was a freshman. So he's like becoming super popular, and he's on the hockey team now, but like he's really humble, and you see that with his character because it does do a multiple point of views, so it's between him and her, and I really liked that when I started reading it. And I love Julie Cross's writing, so I'll probably pick this up. I think I may pick this up like December, just because it's giving me like winter vibes, especially with the hockey. The next book I picked up was Long May She Reign by Rianne Thomas. I was on chapter 4 and I stopped, so you guys see a pattern. I stop at like chapter 4. I wasn't really as drawn into this book as I thought I would be, and I've been hearing great things about this. I don't know if it's because I wasn't in the mood to read it or not, but Haley from Haley Bookland just recently read this, and she loved it. She loved it a lot more than she thought she would. So I'm hoping I'll feel the same way about it. Maybe it's just the slow plotline right now, but I may pick this up soon, may not, I don't know. And the last book I have here is No Good Deed by Cara Connolly. This is about a girl who is a archer. She does archery, I think for the Olympic team, or like she was at the Olympic trials, and she ends up wandering off, and she goes back in time somewhere in England, and it's basically a Robin Hood retelling, but a gender swap, so she's a girl now. And it was really interesting, but again, it was very slow. I stopped at chapter 7, which is 72 pages in, and it's super, super slow. I'm hoping I'll pick it up again, but I don't really know how I'm feeling about retellings right now, especially since I have to read one for review, so yeah. So that's it, guys. As you can see, I'm in like a mood where I really don't know what I want to read, which sucks, but it's the last week of September, so I just have to power through and I'll be fine because October has some great books and I'm so excited for them. So yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like any books or have any recommendations, make sure you comment down below and click that subscribe button. Bye guys!